You see, some people think they can just live this life the way they feel like living this life. S- some people think they can just live life the way they want, go about doing all sorts of evil, go about killing people, kill a couple of people, and some people even have the audacity to brag about it, and go about stealing from people, go about denying people what's rightfully theirs, go about destroying families, go about taking things from people. Some people feel life is just what it is, life, that there is nothing to it, that one day we will all die and be buried in the death and everybody will forget about us after a few couple years. But you see, it's not like that. It is deeper than that. It is deeper than what any pastor, any church man, any man of church, any man of church, because I don't call them men of God, I call them men of church. It's deeper than what any man of church will lead you to believe. See, if you've ever been bad, you've ever done bad things, and like I said, kill a couple of people, steal from people, deny people their existence, and then all of a sudden you remember Christ. All of a sudden you remember going to rehab. All of a sudden you started doing community service. All of a sudden you said you want to turn your life around, that you are a changed man. Say you don't want to be bad anymore. If you've ever done bad, life doesn't work that way. Life is deeper than that. Life is deeper than that. You see, this reality we live in, nature plan things. Nature put things in places and put things in places. A nature program now. Nature has already scripted how those things should move, how those things should work, how those things are supposed to manifest. But then come a little then come you started disrupting the flow of life. You started disrupting how nature planned things to move. You came along and started disrupting those things because you feel you are the king of your neighborhood, because you feel you are untouchable, because you feel you've gotten a few pennies. You came along and started destroying, changing things, how nature intended for things to work. You came along and started disrupting those things, destroying them. You came along, you took lives. Let me break it down so you better understand. See, a human being is supposed to come into this world, reproduce, leave this world, and the seeds that human being left behind carries on reproducing, so to keep the planet going. But then came you and cut that person's life short. You've stopped that person from doing what nature intended for that person to do. Get it? Another example. Somebody came looking for job. You are at a position where you can say yes or no to that person. You know that that person is qualified for that position, but you refuse that person that position because you have an unqualified person waiting. The person you refuse that position, maybe that job could have helped that person marry a wife, bring forth children, who use the proceeds he would have gotten from that job to raise those children, made those children, maybe one of those children or great grandchildren of that person would have come to do something on the planet that would have brought an impact to the planet. But because of little you stop all those. You refuse that person that job, and that person couldn't marry, couldn't raise the children. So you disrupt that reality. That timeline did not happen because of you. You disrupted that timeline. And then all of a sudden you found Jesus. All of a sudden you started doing community service, telling yourself that you are a changed man, you just to make yourself feel good. Doesn't work like that. If you have ever, now look at me, look into the screen because I'm talking to you now. If you have ever done something voluntarily or involuntarily to hurt a fellow human being, a fellow sentient being, nature will come for you. You owe a debt to nature. You owe a debt to the universe. You owe a debt to life. If you like, do community service from here, from your village to New Zealand. If you like, discover Jesus all over the planet. If you like, go to church from now till next year. You owe a debt to Mother Nature. Mother Nature will come looking for you. What you can do to reduce your sentence is this. The community services, the church going, the Jesus discovery could might reduce your sentence, your punishment a tiny little bit. But whatever you do, whatever you've ever done, if you've ever done something to hurt a fellow human being, if you did not take, if your action, if your actions or your action did not result in someone losing his or her life, you can do community service and look for that person and apologize to that person, make amends. Look for that person, make amends. Doesn't matter how you do the amendment. Look for that person, apologize, and give something to that person to make up for the wrong you did that person. But if you've ever done something that resulted in somebody, you in a life being lost, I hate to break it to you. There is no amount of community service you will do. There is no amount of aid you will do that can wipe that off. No, nature will come for you and you will pay answer to those things. Don't believe me, right?